We continue another 5 minutes of Bitachon. It's going to be a short week. It's going to be the only shir for the week with Shavuos coming along. And we basically wrapped up the 16th chapter. We're going to wrap it up, restating the idea we concluded with another story. And the idea was that there comes a point, you did all your ishtadlus, you did what you were able, and then there's nothing more you could do. So at that point, explains the Bais Halevi, you're nifter me'achiyov. There's no more obligation for ishtadlus because you did whatever you were able to. In the footnote over here on page and footnote 57, we begin that David HaMelech says the famous pasuk, "Na reisi gam zakanti v'lo reisi tzadik ne'azav." I never saw a tzaddik that was forsaken. Now Rav Akiva Eiger comes along and says, "Really? You never saw a tzaddik was forsaken? There are many tzaddikim that don't have what they need, seemingly. So what does it mean you never saw a tzaddik that was forsaken?" Says Rav Akiva Eiger, a beautiful idea. Because the tzaddik, even when he doesn't have what he needs, he's not forsaken. Because he knows that Hashem is taking care of him. He did whatever he could do, and then he's finished. He might not have anything, but he knows and he's calm with the knowledge that there's no more hishtadlus that he could do. And we continue this at the bottom. He brings down a beautiful story with the Brisker Rav. The Brisker Rav during World War I, they weren't sure. Should they go down to the bomb shelter? Should they not go down to the bomb shelter? And going back and forth, and the Brisker Rav was pacing and he was nervous. Not so common for the Brisker Rav. And he seemingly couldn't make up his mind. Finally, after a few moments, he said, there's no clear answer what to do. And he sat down and he went to learn. Calm, peace, almost like nothing happened. So later, one of the Talmidim said, I don't understand. You were very tense. You weren't sure what to do. You announced it's unclear what to do. And then you were all calm. And he explained this exact, you saw this precise idea. He said, as long as I had an obligation to yes, go down, to not go down, I was nervous. I have an obligation. Hishtadlos. What's the right thing? And I was thinking about it deeply. And I was weighing it like the Brisker Rav will weigh everything. He said, but then at the moment when I realized that there's no clear answer, he said, at that moment, there's no more Hishtadlos. There's no more Hishtadlos. I could sit down and learn. Cause there is no clear answer. Sometimes we have to tell ourselves, we did everything we can. We tried, we worked, we expended all Hishtadlos. When we finish, that's the moment to take a deep breath, say whatever it is, it's now in Hashem's hands. And he concludes this chapter in the bottom over here of David Sutton quotes a famous Chazal about Shabbos, but now we could have a deeper explanation. What does it mean? Shabbos is Makar of all bracha. That on Shabbos we're told all our work is completed. Now, what does that mean? Based on everything we've learned now, we can have a deeper explanation. Because why do we need to work? What's the whole purpose of this all ishtadlus? Is because Hashem gave us a quote-unquote tax, a punishment that we have to work. So now what happens when the same entity that imposed the tax, that taught us that we have to work, comes along and says, guess what? You're putter today. Today you're off. It's Shabbos. So now, of course I don't have to work. Because the whole reason I had to work in the first place came from Hashem. And now he taught me not to. So with that realization, one could indeed take a deep breath and one could realize that yes, it's true. I could be calm with the realization Hashem is in control today. That is indeed what Shabbos is. And when we move into chapter 17, now the Bais Halevi starts to explain to us how we could have ishtadlos, how we could have itachon, I should say, even when it seems absurd, even when it seems impossible for there to be an answer. We have to believe in Hashem. We'll just start with one detail. He says in the bottom over here, we all know that Kashim is Zainis Shel Adam like Kriyas Yamsuf. The question is, why Kriyas Yamsuf? Kriyas Yamsuf was an incredible miracle. Why don't we just say like any other miracle? And the simple explanation is that Kriyas Yamsuf was a miracle, that we literally were up with our backs against the wall. We literally had the Mitzrayim chasing us, the ocean behind us. And therefore, that's a moment to realize right now it's impossible. There is zero that could be done. Helpless. Even at the most helpless, lost, difficult moments, comes in Kriyas Yamsuf and reminds us, your parnasa, you have no clue where to turn. How's the deal going to work out? How are you going to make ends meet? Rising cost prices, impossible. Look at Kriyas Yamsuf. It was also impossible. But the same HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the same Hashem that split the ocean for Klal Yisrael, could do the same for each and every person.